It's real. This is actually happening. Lewis Hamilton will be a driver for Scuderia Ferrari in 2025. Ferrari fans everywhere, rejoice. We've got the official team statements. We've got a statement from Lewis Hamilton, and we've got a statement from almost former driver Carlos Sainz, former Ferrari driver. I can't believe this is real. I gave you my full-blown initial opinions in a video just a couple of hours ago. But here we're going to read the official statements. I'm going to talk about the fallout. I'm going to talk about everything that's going to shift now, and then give you some of my opinions. So first, let's get to the big one. From Scuderia Ferrari. Team statement. Scuderia Ferrari is pleased to announce that Lewis Hamilton will be joining the team in 2025 on a multi-year contract. That's pretty straight up, pretty official. I mean, you don't need a lot of words. They just posted a picture of their logo. It's pretty simple. Lewis Hamilton, get ready to start speaking Italian, buddy, because you're going to Italy to drive for Ferrari. Guys, I can't believe this is happening. 24 hours ago, everything was normal. Everyone was mad that Andretti got rejected from F1, and everyone was like, oh man, we're going to be mad about this forever. Not even 24 hours later, the biggest shift in the F1 silly season happens. Lewis Hamilton, not only is he not staying at Mercedes, he's going to Ferrari. Now, next up is from Mercedes, the losers of the Lewis Hamilton bid, The Mercedes AMG Petronas, I don't know if I pronounced it right, Petronas, F1 team and Lewis Hamilton will part ways at the end of the 2024 season. Lewis has activated a release option in the contract announced last August, and this season will therefore be his last driving for the Silver Arrows. The news brings an end to what is currently a 17-year-long relationship in F1 with Mercedes-Benz and an 11-year-long partnership with the Works team. Obviously, Lewis has been with Mercedes since 2013. He's been driving a Mercedes-powered car since he's been in F1 in 2007 with McLaren. It's a huge deal. It's going to be his first time outside of a Mercedes-powered car. I didn't even think about that till now. Just leaving Mercedes alone was just a big enough thing. He's been there so long. He's had most of his success with them. That was a huge deal, but I didn't even think about that. He's only been powered by Mercedes his whole career, even at McLaren. And then as for his contract, he signed that extension in August, a 2-year deal, and I was like, okay, well, that's pretty straightforward. 2-year deal through the end of 2025. That's simple. He's not a free agent anymore. This could be the end of his career. Apparently not. There was an option in there that if Lewis wanted to, he could opt out of 2025, and he opted out very quickly. We're less than 6 months away from when that contract was signed. We haven't even started the new season yet, and he's opted out. I mean, maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe I'm over-speculating. What happened? What happened between August and today, February 1st, to make Lewis Hamilton rethink his Mercedes life, to think, no, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm out. They've struggled the last couple years, but I'm shocked. Everyone's shocked. Now it's time for the statements. From Toto, Wolff, team principal and CEO. In terms of a team driver pairing, our relationship with Lewis has become the most successful the sport has seen. And that's something we can look back on with pride. Lewis will always be an important part of Mercedes motorsport history. However, we know our partnership would come to a natural end at some point, and that day has now come. We accept Lewis's decision to seek a fresh challenge, and our opportunities for the future are exciting to contemplate. But for now, we still have one season to go, and we are focused on going racing to deliver a strong 2024. And then from Lewis Hamilton himself. I have had an amazing 11 years with this team, and I'm so proud of what we have achieved together. Mercedes has been part of my life since I was 13 years old. It's a place where I have grown up, so making the decision to leave was one of the hardest decisions I have ever had to make. But the time is right for me to take this step, and I'm excited to be taking on a new challenge. I will forever be grateful for the incredible support of my Mercedes family, especially Toto for his friendship and leadership, and I want to finish on a high together. I'm 100% committed to delivering the best performance I can this season and making my last year with the Silver Arrows one to remember. Guys, I cannot believe, or I cannot emphasize enough how shocking this is. As I said just 24 hours ago, I would have never guessed. And when those rumors came up late last night over here in the U.S., I was like, oh, here we go again. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton's going to sign with Ferrari this week. Oh, you're so silly, internet. And then here we are, 2 o'clock in the Central Time Zone of the United States, and Lewis Hamilton has signed a contract with Ferrari for 2025. The fact of the matter is it's going to be a little awkward, 2024, with Lewis and Mercedes. Look, I know they've been together forever. They've had success. They seem to still like each other, but the fact of the matter is it's going to be awkward because the whole season, this isn't like announced in August in the last third of the season, you know he's leaving. This is the whole season, the whole 2024 season. They know he's leaving. He knows he's leaving. I mean, like, what are they going to do? Obviously, they're going to race. They're going to try their hardest, all that, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, in reality, are they really going to help each other as much as I think? Like, there's going to be data points that Mercedes is sharing with Lewis Hamilton that could potentially be used against him in the future. Like, I feel like things are going to get held back, and it's just going to be awkward, and it could hurt their performance. But maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I don't know anything. That's probably it. And then the other awkward side of it, Carlos Sainz, confirmed as the guy getting the boot. Obviously, Leclerc just signed an extension like a week ago, so there was no speculation that he was leaving. It was always like, oh, the instant this report came up, I was like, oh, tough for Sainz. And that is ultimately the case. Here's what Carlos Sainz said. Following today's news, Scuderia, Ferrari, and myself will part ways at the end of 2024. We will still have a long season ahead of us, and like always, I will give my absolute best for the team and for the Tifosi all around the world. News about my future will be announced in due course. So Sainz, obviously, short and sweet, short and simple. From the reports on this so far, it's crazy because it seems like Ferrari, on their side of things, they've known about this for weeks. They've been attempting to sign Lewis Hamilton for weeks. Charles Leclerc's known about it. Sainz has known about it. But Mercedes has been completely caught off guard. Like, from the reports of it, once again, these are just reports. Mercedes has been caught off guard. Lewis Hamilton didn't tell Toto till yesterday. If that's all true, then this is a wild, crazy, I say, escalation of things in the past 24 hours for Mercedes and in the last week or two for Ferrari. And I just can't believe it. So there's so many different things to process here. Number one, Lewis Hamilton, he's going to Ferrari. If you want my full opinion on that, I made another video. You can go check that out. I give my full 10-minute opinion on why this could add to Lewis Hamilton's already legendary legacy. It can't really hurt it, but it can add so much to it. It's great for Ferrari. I explain that. I talk about how, they haven't had a championship in 17 years, going for one of the most successful drivers of all time. Why not? There's no bad end of this deal for both sides. I mean, obviously, if they lose, they're going to get made fun of, but, they'll be fine. As for the future of Mercedes, the future of Carlos Sainz, that's what I want to discuss here. Now, it's pretty straightforward. Well, it's not straightforward, actually, but it's pretty straightforward in what they got to do. Mercedes has to find a new driver. Sainz has to find a new home. For Mercedes, there's a lot of options you could go. There's a lot of hype around the young driver who's going to be an F2, Kimi Antonelli, and he's actually an Italian driver. It's kind of ironic. An Italian driver, the Mercedes driver is going to Italy, and the Italian driver could be going to Mercedes. But okay, we're getting way sidetracked. Kimi Antonelli, he's a very young prospect, but he is a highly regarded prospect. Mercedes loves him. He's in their bubble. Like they operate his operation, if you know what I'm saying. He's 17 years old right now, so that means if they were to take a big risk and sign him, he would be 18 years old as a rookie in F1. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it all depends on how he does in F2 this year, so keep an eye on that. But if they were to go with the more conservative route, let Kimi Antonelli develop a little bit more in F2, let him, do his thing for a couple years there. Obviously, George Russell's on one side of the garage no matter what. He's going to be there for the long term. But that second seat, what do you do with it if you don't take the risk and sign Antonelli? I personally think they should sign Albon. That is my opinion. Albon, I know he struggled at Red Bull. He did not have a great year and a half at Red Bull, but he's done great at Williams. He's, rejuvenated in a sense. He's provided some great results for them. I think he's matured a little bit, and I like to think he's ready for that step back up. He's not going to be at Williams forever. If he continues performing the way he is, he's going to eventually make that step up to a better team than Williams, whether that's Mercedes or someone else. So I personally think he's kind of in that Mercedes family with Mercedes powering Williams. I think they should go after him. Another option, if you wanted to do something crazy, I think Mercedes should go after Fernando Alonso. I think Alonso's on a multi-year contract at Aston Martin, but if Aston Martin, performs like they did in the back half of the season and Alonso wants out, maybe Mercedes will pursue Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso. Alonso goes to Mercedes, finishes his career there over the next 2 to 3 years, and then Antonelli replaces Alonso. Something like that. Ocon, Ocon's a good driver, and he's a part of the Mercedes family, kind of. But I don't know. My guess right now is Albon. I think Albon ends up at Mercedes. I don't know. I don't know if Mercedes takes the risk on Kimi Antonelli. He might be too young. Fernando Alonso's a long shot. I'd even say Ocon's a bit of a long shot. Right now, I'd say Albon, but I don't know anything. These are pure guesses. As for Carlos Sainz's future, I don't know. Once again, I don't know anything. It's tough to tell. It's tough to say what's going to happen with Sainz. He's been linked to Audi's name before. Would he go to an Aston Martin maybe? Fernando Alonso were to step away. With the ultimate irony would be him going to Mercedes, just a straight up trade almost for Hamilton for Sainz. But I'm curious to see what ends up happening with Carlos Sainz in the future and with the second Mercedes seat. This is the first time we've kind of had to deal with when Bottas left, it was like, oh, okay, it's Valtteri Bottas, a good driver, and it's Mercedes. You want to see who's in there. But we kind of all knew it was going to be George Russell. We saw this coming. This one we didn't see coming. We didn't see Lewis Hamilton leaving Mercedes, and we didn't see him leaving at the time he's leaving Mercedes. He's giving them a lot of time to find a replacement. It's not like he's leaving this week. He's got a full year. They've got a full year to find a replacement. So I'm curious to see what both sides do. Lewis Hamilton is officially a Ferrari driver in 2025, but it will be quite the sight to see Lewis Hamilton in that iconic red. Let me know what your thoughts are on Lewis Hamilton leaving Mercedes, going to Ferrari, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day, night, or morning, wherever you are.